Okay, let's dive in. Have you ever felt like you're just drowning in information when you're trying to learn something new? Well, today we're going to talk about how you can actually use AI, not just to tread water, but to really truly learn and master a new subject. You know that feeling, right? You decide to learn a new topic, and bam, suddenly you're staring at this mountain of articles and videos and concepts. You see all these different puzzle pieces, but you just can't figure out how they fit together. It's totally normal to feel kinda lost. And right on cue, all these AI tools show up, and they're promising you instant summaries, perfect mind maps, a complete end to all your confusion. I mean, it sounds like a dream come true, but here's the catch. What if avoiding that confusion is the single biggest mistake you can make? And that brings us to this really interesting idea called the overwhelm paradox. See, we need to completely change how we think about being confused. That feeling, it's not a bad sign. It's actually a signal that you're exactly where you need to be. Let's call this feeling the wall of learning. It's that moment where you look at everything and go, whoa, there are a ton of moving parts here, and I have no idea how they connect. Now, your first instinct might be to find a shortcut, but this wall, this is where the magic happens. And this is so important. The messy process of trying to push through that wall, of sorting things out for yourself and trying to make connections, that's not a sign you're failing. That is learning. That struggle is the actual work that builds deep knowledge in your brain. So this is where we have to be really careful, because AI tools are so good. They can create this powerful, illusion of learning. They let you skip over the very struggle that your brain desperately needs to actually get smarter. So look at the difference here. On one side, you have AI promising this effortless, instant world with zero confusion. But what real, lasting learning actually needs is, the exact opposite. It demands effort, it demands that you personally organize the information, and it requires you to navigate the very confusion that AI wants to erase. At the end of the day, AI tools are incredible at just handing you the final product. You click a button and poof, there it is. The perfect summary, the beautiful mind map, all neatly packaged up. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. The learning doesn't happen when you get the mind map, it happens during the process of you wrestling with the information and trying to build it yourself. You could say the struggle is the feature, not a bug. Okay, so what do we do about this? How do we use these amazing tools without letting them hijack the learning process? Well, it all comes down to a simple but powerful change in your mindset. Here's the solution. You have to change your relationship with AI. Stop seeing it as this all-knowing teacher and start thinking of it as a really smart but junior research assistant. You are the boss. You are the one doing the learning. This chart breaks it down perfectly. Your job as the learner is all the hard mental work, making the connections, building that deep understanding, and asking really specific, thoughtful questions. You then delegate the grunt work to your AI assistant. Things like gathering resources, maybe creating a first draft of a summary for you to critique, or generating some practice questions that you tell it to create. All right, so let's get super practical. I'm gonna give you 3 concrete steps you can take right now to make sure that you are in the driver's seat of your own learning. These are your new rules of engagement with AI. First, something called learning guide mode. Second, you have to earn every single response you get from the AI. And third, and this is a big one, you have to fundamentally shift how you spend your time so that you're spending more of it thinking and less of it just consuming. So what is this learning guide mode? Well, some AI tools actually have a setting where instead of just spitting out the answer, they'll ask you questions first. It forces you to actually think and engage before it gives you anything. And what's wild is that a lot of the time, this feature is turned off by default. And the reason this works so well comes down to this core idea from learning science called desirable difficulty. All the research shows that when learning feels a bit harder, when it requires more effort from you, it's actually way more effective. It literally makes the knowledge stick in your brain for longer. Okay, now for that second rule, earn every response. This is all about not being a passive passenger anymore. Instead of just mindlessly asking for the next thing, you have to pause, think, pinpoint the exact thing you don't understand and turn that confusion into a really specific question. You're basically paying for the AI's help with your own curiosity and mental effort. So really, your main goal here is to completely flip the ratio. You want to dramatically increase the time you spend actively thinking, wrestling with the ideas, making connections, and shrink the amount of time you spend just passively consuming information that's been packaged for you. And that leaves us with one final big question to think about. There is absolutely no doubt that AI is getting smarter and more powerful every single day. But the real question we have to ask ourselves isn't how smart the AI is. It's whether we're using it in a way that's making us smarter, more capable learners. The tool is in your hands.